Hi, what is up and welcome to our channel. So today I'm going to be sharing with you my UV journey. So I'm going to go through all of the shows I went to, how I found out about them and everything in between. Let's get started. The first thing I'm going to talk about is how I found out about them, of course, and I found out about them on the X Factor. So I supported them from the very beginning. I just sat with my parents in here and they had the X Factor on, and I was watching, and there was 3 boys that came on in the same night, which were Elliot, John and Blaze. I went ahead and followed them all on their social medias. It was announced later on that they had been put into a group, and I was just so happy about that because I loved them all individually. However, there were 2 new members to this group. We only had seen 3 of the members, apparently I can't count, 3 of the members auditions. So these 2 new members were very new to everyone, no one knew who they were, so it's very intriguing. And the new members were Kieran and Jack. I'm gonna go on to who my lane was in the first couple of weeks. The first couple of weeks of me supporting this band, which at the time were called Vibe 5, they weren't United Vibe yet. So my favourite was Blaze. I think I just really loved his confidence. He was such a baby, but he was so sassy, and I loved everything about him. My brain just shut off. Okay, so they got into the 3rd live shows. However, it was so unfortunate that Elliot had come down with a really nasty cold, and he couldn't properly sing, and he had a really bad voice basically, and he had a really sore throat. It was horrible for him, and it was horrible to see him kind of in pain while singing. They had given Jack one of Elliot's high notes. It was kind of his, on the X Factor, it was kind of Elliot's thing to do the high notes because he has really good falsetto. However, because he couldn't sing those, one of his high notes was given to Jack, and it just didn't quite land, and he couldn't quite reach that note. So I think that was it was just a mixture of all of that, and they got really nasty comments from the judges, horrible backlash. It was just awful, and I really felt for them. I know a lot of the fandom at the time, it was really small, but I know everyone felt for them. Everyone was really sad that they had unfortunately got voted off for this as well. Moving on to their first tour. So I think it might have been November time, they announced a tour for 2020. No. That came out really wrong. They announced a tour for 2019, which was called the Vibers Tour. This tour I was so excited for. I really wanted to go, and me and my best friend Carly, we decided to go. The show we went to was the London show. It's in the Half Moon pub in Putney. We decided that we wanted to do a project for this show, and it was going to be the first ever project throughout the whole entire tour. So me and Carly were cutting out these hearts the night before, and we were on FaceTime to a group. We made a friendship group, which was basically everyone who was attending the London show was in this group. Obviously not everyone, but people who wanted to be in this group chat were in it. And we ended up calling it Juicy Gang, and it stuck for ages. We find it very cringy now, but at the time we loved the name, and so did the boys actually. They caught onto it very quickly. The next morning, obviously me and Carly went down to London. It's about 3 hours away-ish, and we're very excited. And everything went down so well. The project went so well. The boys actually cried. Well, I think John, Elliot and Jack did. Blaze teared up but didn't actually cry, and Kieran didn't cry. We were so overwhelmed with that reaction. We didn't expect it whatsoever. On the way home, by the way, the show was actually incredible. I will insert my pictures with the boys at every show and stuff, but I will say I hate my pictures from this show because I was so excited and I was so fangirly, so my pictures are just horrible. But I will insert a couple of pictures right here. But yeah, so this was on the 24th of February, by the way, in 2019. And on the way home from the show, me and Carly actually got messages from the boys. We also got pictures of our little project to put on the boys' stories. I will insert all these pictures here. It was so lovely to see how much they loved something we put together for them. The next thing I went to was the airport. They went and done a tour, like a tour around Asia, I think, and they were there for 3 weeks. That weekend this is the Juicy Gang when I say we were all, well, a lot of us were going to a Shawn Mendes concert literally that night, so we decided that we would go to the airport and show them some welcoming back into the UK. We got given like all the information, the time they were coming in, like supposed to be landing, what gate it was at, etc, etc, by Elliot's mum. We had made balloons and it was just so cute. We also got in their story again. I'll put the picture here if I have it still. But yeah, it was really, really cute and they really loved the little welcome back. It was so adorable. The airport is such a like emotional day for me because I had a really nice chat with Elliot about like just deep stuff, which I won't go into. I will forever cherish that chat in my heart and I love him so much. I will also put my pictures here from that day because we did get some pictures with some of the boys. So next is Tame. This was on the 15th of June. I went with Carly. They did it was like sound check and chill. Like, so basically we were able to watch them sound check, but we were also able to like go behind the stage and just chat with them and chill with them. I have a tiny video. I don't know if I'll play it, but it's a really, really tiny video of like, I think it was of me like walking up to Jack with Carly. It was just so chilled. Hello! You guys alright?
I'm good.
Good.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. We were then able to meet them because I brought a meet and greet ticket. The entry for this was free. I had gifts for them. One of the gifts was this necklace I gave Elliot. This is a matching one I have. But he did actually wear that for a very long time after I gave it to him. He doesn't wear it anymore, but he did wear it for a very, very long time.
Thank you so much, Em. I love you. You're so sweet.
Okay, so next wasn't even like called anything. It was just like loads of random shows in the summertime. And this was on the 13th of July. I went to the London date and me and Carly stayed at Becky's house, and we had a sleepover. I had VIP tickets and meet and greet for this one. We went, obviously watched the show and it was like honestly so good. Then after the show we were waiting outside for the boys to come out. There was so much security and they just kept telling us to go away basically, and not to like hang around outside of this place. However, we were like adamant to wait for them. John and Blaze started walking like around the corner and we saw them, so we were like, we're gonna wait for them. And then it turned out that they were actually walking to the car park and they were walking in the direction that we had to go to get our train. back to Becky's house. But we walked with them and we got photos, and they were so lovely. They literally stopped and talked to us for so long, and it was literally the sweetest thing. I also cried in my meet and greet photos. There was actually such a cute moment where they like all huddled me. The next thing is Hyde Park. I am still to this day so upset that I couldn't actually go in, but oh well. We still had the best time outside. So this was literally the next day, the 14th of July, and the London thing was the 13th. We met up with loads of girls. I can't name them all because I will forget someone, but we were able to speak to the boys over the phone, and we were literally adamant to wait there until they were able to come out. So we listened to them through the gate, we sung along. We were then waiting outside the gate for them to come out, and it was like 11 p.m. and Robbie then told everyone that they could not leave until the Hyde Park was clear and emptied, because they thought the people who had been on stage could get mobbed. We then started to walk back to the train station, and we somehow, by the grace of Jesus, bumped into Elliot, and it was just so amazing to see him after and tell him how good of a job he did on stage and everything. On the 20th of July we have Leeds. So Leeds was incredible because I actually surprised Abby at Leeds. We don't have videos, but we do have a couple of photos together. I had priority and meet and greet. My voice was totally gone after watching the performance. But priority was amazing. That was like my first time having priority tickets, and it was so good and it was so worth it. Our priority tickets were like, you had an hour to spend with them. I think it was limited to 30 people or 50 or something like that. You could literally just go around and meet them all separate, like individually, and get individual photos. The only issue I had with it was that you could not get a photo with them all in that time, so you had to get meet and greet after the show if you wanted a picture with all of them as well. Then we have Tame 2. So this was on the 29th of September, and it was the Tame Food Festival. So it's really annoying because I was like too late for the sound check and chill sort of thing. That's not actually what they called it, but that's what I'm gonna call it. But I did have meet and greet, so I did get to meet them eventually, but I just didn't get to the sound check and chill. And that day was really, really good as well. The penultimate show was the Xmas tour on the 8th of December. This was actually boy band tour, and I slept at Becky's again, and we went together. I had VIP and meet and greet. My VIP was gifted to me by Layla. So if you're watching this, Layla, I love you with my whole heart, and thank you so much for that. That day, I will just say, my jacket got nicked by someone. I'm so grateful that I didn't leave like my purse and my jacket. Whether it was like nicked on purpose or it was an accident, it was still nicked. It was just not great. But the show was really, really good. I had really long conversations with all the boys. Little did I know this was going to be the last show with them all there. But nonetheless, it was really, really good. Then we had Nuneaton. So that was the most recent and the last show that I went to, and that's the 7th of March. So it was the last show. It was actually quite a sad show. I wasn't like happy. My mental health just wasn't great that day. But I went with Becky and we slept over here at mine, and my parents took us. It was without Kieran. It really did suck, and it did not feel right without him there at all. But I surprised all my friends there. It was a really good time. Literally no one had a clue that I was going besides Becky, because obviously she was sleeping here. And Becky was also surprising a few people as well. That is my UV journey. But the last thing I want to share with you is, drumroll please, is that Elliot finally followed me on Instagram. And so that was the 12th of May, so actually quite recent. And I'm so unbelievably grateful for that. I love him so much, and he doesn't really follow fans anymore, so I was literally so shocked. But I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you next time for my next video. Bye guys.